today I'm going to tackle my non-opening sunroof, and I think that's what makes this car, so I'm going to give it a go, but I haven't a clue how to do this. There is a German video online, but it's a bit long-winded and it's hard to understand, so I'm just going to take you through step by step. I don't know if I can do it or not, you know, but I'll give it a go, you know. I think it's definitely worth it. We've had a lot of hot weather recently, and with not being able to get the sunroof open, and this car doesn't have air conditioning, and it was a bit hot inside. I put a call out on the A2 Owners Club page, and there's a chap came back to me and said that it's more than likely to be one of the little brackets. There's two brackets on this, one either side, and there's a little bracket, and it's a plastic bracket, and it breaks. Now, I would have gotten him to fix it, but he's 350 miles away, so I'm just going to have a go myself. And I believe it's a sunroof out job, so I'll give it a go. You know, whether I can do it or not, I'm not sure, but it's certainly worth a try. So when you press the button that controls the sunroof, this little slider mechanism moves back on this side, but on the other side it doesn't move at all, which suggests that it's the right hand cable or cable end that's broken. So because this one moves and it's pushed the sunroof up slightly, I'm going to take this side off first and then move over to the other side, and should have a bit more room to get the screws out. So there's actually 3 screws on both sides to get to, and it's easiest if you take the screw off, or the farthest back screw off first on both sides, and this allows you to push the sunroof up, and you can wedge something in the back of it to get into the 2 screws that are further in, and it's difficult to see here, but I'll show you it when I get it off. So I've managed to lever a Torx screwdriver in to get to the farthest most screw, and I'll take these off now. So I've got the screws out on this side, and I'm moving over to the other, and I've got the rear screw out, which is in there, and you can push the sunroof up now and just wedge something in the back, which I'll probably do with a screwdriver. And that just holds it up out of the way so that I can get into this screw in here, and then eventually lift the sunroof off. So there you go, there's 1, 2, 3 screws on each side to get out. The hardest bit was just keeping this bit down here. You've got to get this bit right down to get into this screw right away in here. And there they are. There's 1, 2, 3 screws. I'm going to take the motor out now. As far as I can see, there's 1, 2, 3 screws to get it out. Take off this blue connector, then it should just come out. You remove the shade and you just push these bits in the runners and lift it out. That's it. And you can see this one's got a bit of play in it. Not that much play in it. Around to the other side. This one's constantly on the wire. You can feel the resistance. So it's definitely the right hand side. To get the back panel off, you've got to manually push these back to lift the front edge of the panel up, and don't push it too far back, because you've got to get into the two screws at the front of the panel here to get them out, and then lift it up, and then you can get into the two screws that are halfway down the panel, which are in here, get them out, and then get this panel off. So in here is where the offending brackets are, and to get them off, and according to Ian in the A2 Owners Club, you've got to take the whole of the sunroof off. So this is the job that I've got to tackle next. To get the roof lining off, you've got to take out all the accessories, the visors, the lights, the grab handles, the light at the back, the panel off in the back as well. And to get the liner away from the sunroof itself, I use this squeegee, which I use for vinyl work, and you just prise in there and it pushes down, and you get these clips off. So you just put it in, push it down, and the clips pop off like that. That way you're not damaging the roof liner. A bit of leverage, and it just comes away like that. That's the roof liner out. I'm taking it out because it needs a good clean, and there's also a couple of bits where it's come away where I'll need to re-glue it. To get the sunroof out, there looks like there's two bolts in each corner. 3 maybe. I'll just have to try them. See, 1 corner, 2 corners. And in the back, it just looks like 2 bolts in each side. So I managed to get the old sunroof off, and it's quite a job, you know. It's, to be honest, it is maybe a job too far for me, because when you get the thing off, well, one, it's hard to lift, you know, it takes 2 people to lift it, but I managed to get it off. And 2, I'll show you just now, to get the clips out, you've got to get them out this end here, and there's 2 hidden screws in there which are quite hard to get to, and also you've got to separate the bond between the frame and the front piece of glass. And you know, when I put that back together, you know, I might not get it together very well and seal it. So to be absolutely honest, I think it's a specialised job, and there's a reason why, you know, somebody specialised in doing this sort of stuff. But as I said, they're over 350 miles away from me. So I took the easy option, and I went on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody was selling a second-hand roof within 100 miles of me. So he guaranteed that it would work. So I got my mate to give me a hand to put this one in. So now I've got to just sort of bolt it all together, put all the bolts and screws back in, but I'll probably try it first before I go to that stage, just to make sure it's working. But my headliner's also seen better days as well, but I'm not going to buy another one, so I'm just going to buy some spray glue and reapply this one and just give it a bit of a clean. So firstly, I've just got this trim fix adhesive, and I spray both the surface and the lining with this, and then I'll leave it for 10 minutes and then firmly apply it. This is the tricky part. There we go. I'll turn it round and do the second half. There, that's it all done. Ready to go back in. Just knocked my backside in the phone. Woohoo! It works. That's great. I've now got a working sunroof. Well, that's fantastic. So I get all these clips and nuts and bolts back in. There's quite a bit to do, you know, to get it all back together. Get the roof lining sorted, get that put back in, and get it ready for the show at the weekend. Well, that's it sorted. It was either repair or replace, but to be absolutely honest, repairing it is a bit of a specialist job and best left to the experts. So I was very lucky in getting this second-hand sunroof, only within 100 miles of me, and I believe that's what makes this little car, is the open sunroof, especially as this one doesn't have air conditioning, and on a hot day it can get really warm. So the A2 is an ongoing project. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, there'll be more videos coming along very soon.